Okay, hello everyone. I'm happy for your presence here in the Challenger Developer workshop, and I'm gonna share my screen and let's get started. Can you see my presentation? Let me check here.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, great. Okay, so before everything, guys, to learn better about this workshop, take notes. So if you have a notepad or if you want to take notes on your computer, that's fine. But it's important for you to take notes so that you can absorb more of this workshop, okay? So what we're going to explore in this workshop, we're going to be talking about how to get clarity, to get what you want. We're going to be talking about how to get rid of bugs more easily. We're going to be talking about the market technology as well. We're going to be talking about how to boost your CV for the market. So how to market yourself as a developer. We're going to be talking about effective communication. So how can you communicate in a way that you can grow in your career? We're going to be discussing about how to learn quickly. So we don't need to read necessarily a book from cover to cover, so we can be more strategic and learn more quickly. We're going to be talking about how to negotiate your salary. I know that there are so many technologies that we end up forgetting about those essential skills to grow in our careers, because if we don't know how to negotiate, the company will always have the advantage. We're going to be discussing about how to give talks, how to get started, and how to share your knowledge. So step one, no procrastination. So the first thing, guys, what is your dream? Do you have this clarity? Do you know exactly what you want for your life? Dreams are different than goals. So dream is a long-term goal. It's a big goal. It's a big thing that will change your life. So what can you do to understand your dreams better? You can reflect about your life. Like you can take walks. This is something that I do often to clear my mind and understand exactly, okay, am I going to the right way? What are my dreams? And then I make questions to myself to understand what exactly I want. And once you figure out what is your dream, so I'll give you examples. So your dream might be, I want to work remotely for an amazing company, and I want to have a house where I have a view to the beach, for example. Or your dream might be to work for a big company like Google or Facebook or Microsoft or whatever. Or your dream might be to be a speaker. So I don't know what's your dream. So you have to figure this out. I'm just giving you examples so that you can think big. Like when I talk about dreams, it's something big, right? So when you achieve a dream, you can always have other dreams. So for example, my dream initially was to work abroad, and I got it like more than 3 years ago. And nowadays my dream is another one. So when you achieve one dream, you have another one, and then you fulfill your ultimate purpose. Like I said before, a dream is a long-term objective, so it's not a goal. A goal is something that it's a smaller action you take to achieve your dream. So for example, when I wanted to work abroad, I knew I needed English. So what I did, I was studying English consistently so that I could improve my English skills. And for achieving a dream, consistency is the biggest key. So what is consistency? Is when you do what you know that you have to do, even when you don't feel like it. So If you can do that, you can accomplish anything in life, basically. So what are the dream killers? Many plans will take to no action. So for example, if I want to study thousands of technologies, if I want to study Kubernetes, Docker, Datadog, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, all of those technologies at the same time, what's going to happen is that I will learn nothing. I'm going to get frustrated and everything will be useless. So if we have many plans, it will usually take to no action because we get so overwhelmed that we don't even we don't do anything. So it's important to define a focus, to know, okay, my dream is this one. So what exactly do I have to do to get there? So you focus on just a couple of things, and then you get really good at them. Another dream killer is not knowing where to start. You have to have a plan to get going, but you don't have to have a perfect plan. So sometimes we think that we have to have a perfect plan to take action, but we don't need it. We need a plan where we can go a little bit further. And then after this plan, then you get another one. Because this is another very common cause of procrastination. You want to create the perfect plan. You want to create a mind map with thousands and thousands of information. You create a huge plan, very complex plan, and then in the end, like people usually do nothing because it's so complex to create that plan that you take no action. And without action, nothing happens. You can create the perfect plan, the most complex plan you can ever imagine, and if you take no action, you can't have any results. If you don't, another dream killer is no daily habits. So for example, for me to learn English, to get good at English, I have to adopt habits in my life. So what I've done, so I'm giving the example of English, but you can apply this same essence with everything else. So for example, I changed the operation system to English. I changed my mobile phone to English. I was looking everything, every issue I had in my job in English. So I changed my whole routine to English. So that was the habit I adopted to master the English language so that I could get a job abroad. So a daily habit is very important. If you don't have a daily habit, you can build it. Another very, very common excuse, I have no time. Like many people say that they can't achieve their dreams because they have no time. But there isn't such a thing like no time. Everyone has 24 hours a day. So instead of saying no time, instead of talking like a victim, you say, it's not that I don't have time. I'm not prioritizing this. So there's not such a thing like no time. It's no priority. So you have to prioritize whatever you need to overcome any challenge you're having in your life or in your career. So excuses is very, very common reason that people don't go after their dreams. And sometimes also they have limiting beliefs. So I had a limiting belief. So I thought that I would never be able to give a talk because it wasn't just me who thought about that. People said, oh, Rafael, you're only technical. You never give a talk in your life. So I had to change my limiting beliefs and I had to say, okay, that's not true. I can give a talk if I do hard work towards that. I'm sure that I can give a talk. And today I'm giving a talk in English. It's not even my native language. So you can also break your limiting beliefs, right? You can break your limits. So I'm breaking my limits like every day. So that's just a normal thing, like for me. And you can make it like a normal thing too. You break your limits bit by bit every day. So how can you find out about your dreams? Ask yourself what would be amazing for you. So you can take notes, you can do journaling. You can, like I said, have a walk. If you have a walk, it's very good for you to gain clarity. While you're having your walk, you can even listen to an amazing audiobook. There are so many powerful audiobooks for you to learn and to become better. So this is a great practice that will definitely expand your vision. So, for example, I have a subscription in Audible, Amazon, and it's amazing because I can listen to several books there and I can learn a lot. You can also reflect about your life, and you can think also, why not you? Like, there's no reason for you to not achieve your dreams. So why not achieving your dreams? And also find out what are your passions and motivations. So what exactly motivates you? So it's useful if you can imagine something that will motivate you. Like, you can have a role model, you can think of a place you want to live. I don't know, anything that will make you happy. You can create a book, like where you put all the images that will motivate you. And if you check those images often enough, what will happen is that subconsciously you're gonna be more motivated to take actions towards your dreams, because those things that you put on your little book motivate you to get whatever you want. Like I said, journaling is a powerful technique. You can just write down about your dreams, so that you can learn and you can understand better yourself. So writing is a very good way to clear your mind. And if you have a whiteboard, you can even ask some questions. Like, you can put some whiteboards on your room, for example, and then you can just write down some ideas, and then you can get clarity by doing that as well. So guys, I'm gonna give you a first exercise. So your exercise now is to write down your biggest dreams for life. So you can write down about your personal, professional, and financial. And I want you also to imagine what's the ultimate level you see yourself. Write it down with as much details as possible. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to do that, okay? So you can write down about your personal life, professional, and you can write down now only about your personal and professional. So when I talk about your personal life, so I say it's in the sense like, oh, I want to get a family, I want to get married, I want to lose weight, I want to be healthier, I want to move to some other country. Professional, oh, I want to get a job in that company, I want to work on remotely, I want to get a raise, whatever you want. So I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to do that, okay? So can I talk here to the audience? Where can I talk to the audience?
You can write in chat to all audience.
Okay, so
But
is
if
it
you
okay,
want,
guys?
sorry.
Sorry,
Yes,
go ahead.
you just sent the organizer. You should choose all audience, entire audience.
Okay.
That session, you just all entire audience.
Organize and panel lists.
You are in chat session, isn't it? Or question?
Oh, question. Okay, questions.
Bruno is writing. There's a chat site. You can write there.
Where is the chat? I can see here, but I see the option of organizer only, organizer, and panel list. And then just organizers. I don't see the audience.
Okay, no problem. You can just write the question, or I can just forward.
Okay. Okay, great. So if like I'll give you 5 minutes, guys, to write down about your professional and your personal goals, and then if you can write down your personal and professional, that would be great, so that you can get some clarity towards those areas. Where can I see the messages from the audience, Nerso?
I will send you a screenshot.
Can you send me the link so that I can see the messages from the audience? Is there another link?
Oh, there's just one. There's a portal you're using now. It's the attendees, pools, handouts, and chat. You can just click on and it's open.
Okay.
You can just look at question session and people are writing there.
Okay, I don't see any questions here.
There is actually.
Yeah, because I need to interact with them. Okay, I see here. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, now I see. Okay.
Okay, I am sending to you.
Okay, awesome. I see here.
It's okay. You can add the question part and I will send to Rafael.
Yeah, but they are listening to me, right? So
I can unmute people if you want. They can just open their microphone and they can tell as well.
yeah, that's could be a good one as well.
Hello, Bruno. If you want, you can speak.
Okay.
Bruno,
You can read on the chat, not write on it. Okay, so Gyukan, sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. He wants to get a permanent residence in Germany and learn German. Okay, so this is quite specific, which is great. Ahmet, okay, you want to be a Java rockstar. Okay, that's great. Be a software architect. Okay, just a difference, Gikan. Like this is more of your big goal. So your goals are actually the actions you take consistently to improve, to achieve your final dream. So that's great, guys. Anyone else? Ahmet wants to be a Java rockstar. So Ahmet, start thinking what do you have to do to become a Java rockstar? So do you have a plan? because this will be our next step. So you have your dream. So what can you do to be a Java rockstar? So what actions can you take to be that? Okay, so guys, you have more answers. Otherwise, we're gonna continue. We don't have a lot of time. Okay, guys, I think that's enough. Let's continue. Can you still see my presentation, Nerso?
Yes, we can.
Perfect, okay. Okay, guys, so next step. So now that you have a rough vision about your dreams, about your big goals, now you have to develop yourself on the journey. So you have to understand that to achieve a dream, it will be a journey. So you're going to have to develop yourself, not only technically, but you're going to have to grow and work on yourself. We're going to have to work on your mindset. You're going to have to work on your attitude, on the way you solve problems, on the way you interact with people. So there are many things to improve on your journey. And by getting better as a person, you get better opportunities in your career as well. So to work on yourself is very important, because otherwise it will be impossible for you to be consistent and persistent. Because if you don't even believe in yourself, why would you even take the action to be great? So I think the very first step is to believe that you can get there. So have faith. So that you can get where you want to get. And once you decide that you want to really achieve your dream, play full out, go all in. Don't hold back, because if you hold back, you won't grow as much as you can to get whatever you want. So play full out. Don't hold back when you are working to achieve your dreams, because success starts within yourself. It's not outside. So if you are thinking about getting approval from others, what usually happens is that you're gonna fail, because if it's not from within, so you become kind of a superficial person that don't really know why you want to achieve this dream. So success starts within yourself. It's not from the outside. So you don't want to like do things just because of other people. You want to do things because it's your purpose. It's something that starts within yourselves, not from the outside. Okay, so I learned that from Robin Sharma. He calls the four interior empires. So if you want to really be legendary in your life and achieve amazing things, we have to focus on that. The first very important thing is health set. So why I'm talking about health? It's a workshop about career. So what is the connection? Actually, it's very connected, because without health, guess what? You can't do anything. So without health, you're gonna be stressed out, and like it won't be worth it. You can do the work, like as much work as you possibly can, but if you don't have health, what's gonna happen is that all your work, like you will be able to bring some value, but if you don't care about your health, like you won't be able to give value a long time. So how can you be healthy? It's not that complex. Like if you do at least 3 times exercise in a week, and if you eat reasonably well, you can have a good health. Like you don't need to have crazy diets. You don't need to do crazy exercises. You just need to do exercises 3 times a week and eat reasonably well. So don't eat like more than 3 times junky food in a week, and that will do very good for you already. If you can drink 2 liters of water every day, that would be great, because with water, our mind gets far more focused to solve programming problems, to solve your life problems, your career problems. So with water, like water is the ultimate medicine, and it's very it's very simple to have water. So you don't want to be the richest person in the graveyard. So you have to focus on your health. Otherwise, you're gonna give amazing value to everyone, but you won't be able to do that long enough if you don't have health. So health should be maximum priority, should be above everything. Hard set. So what is hard set? Let's go to disappointments from the past. Because if you hold a grudge against someone else, what's going to happen is that you're going to be giving out your energy to that person who hurt you in the past. So let go those disappointments, because otherwise it will be difficult for you to be successful. And when I say successful, it's your success. What is success for you? So successful is not something that is the same for everyone. So you have to gain clarity to understand, okay, what is success for me? Because my definition of success is totally different from yours. So you have to get clarity, and you have to understand, okay, what do I want? When you know what you want, then you can get what you want. So that's why it's so important to get clarity. So sad. This is a little bit more difficult, because it's about living for a cause greater than yourself. So what is this cause? You have to figure this out. For example, my cause is to help people to break their limits in their lives. So I had my limitations. I thought that I would never be able to give a talk, but I'm here giving a talk, right? So if I broke my limits, I can make you break your limits as well. So set is basically that. What's your purpose in life? What is a reason greater than yourself? And then mindset. Mindset is how you think, what's your psychology, so that you can work towards your dreams. So I know that many people say, oh, only mindset is enough, but it's not. Like, if you have only mindset and your health set is not good, like probability is that you're gonna have a life full of stress, you won't live long, and so you have to have a balance between those four interior empires. So like, that's why I say that success is not from the outside, success is from within. So you become a better person, and then you can achieve better things. Eliminate limiting beliefs, because if someone already made it, you can also make it. You have to put the work, have to be consistent, have to have discipline, but it's totally possible. I also say many people saying a lot of negative things about themselves, and they don't recognize that this is highly harmful. Why it's harmful? Because when you say negative things about yourself, what you're doing, you are programming your subconscious mind to think that you are whatever you said. So, for example, I see many people saying, "Oh, how I'm stupid," or "How I'm dumb," or I don't know, they say many negative things. And then when they say that repetitively, what's going to happen is that their subconscious mind will get this message, and with time, this person will program themselves to fail. So be careful. Don't say negative things about yourself. Sometimes you think that, oh, this is just a joke, it's fine. But if you say that consistently, you will program yourself for failure. So be careful, right? So instead of program yourself for failure, program yourself for success. You don't need to be a robot, but like, don't say silly things just because I want to play, I want to make a joke. So be careful with your words. You have to train your mind, your mindset consistently, because, for example, you might get very motivated after a conference, because we usually are very motivated and we get that boost of energy. But what happens when you leave the conference? Like, your energy goes down again. So you have to train your mindset consistently. How can you do that? You can watch videos on YouTube. You can listen to audiobooks. I do that consistently. So while I'm doing exercises, I'm listening to an audiobook at the same time. So you can do the same. You can listen to audiobooks where your mindset will be trained and will be calibrated to achieve whatever you want. Create smarter goals. So, like I said, there is a difference between a big dream and a goal. A goal is something that you can do in a daily basis. So, for example, I'm going to give you an example of getting a job in Ireland. So, the S stands for specific. Send CVs to companies in Ireland. Measurable, 15 minutes every day. Actionable, go to LinkedIn or Stack Overflow or Monster or whatever website you prefer and do it. Send the CV. Risky, from every 10 CVs, you're gonna get maybe 2 opportunities or 1. Time keyed. So you can be doing that for 3 months and see what happens, what's the results. It's exciting. You're gonna be feeling alive. You're gonna be dealing with other cultures. Going to be talking in English. So it's very exciting. It's relevant. It will change your whole life. If you go to another country, it will be an amazing change. If you want to go to another country and live your life in a different culture. Okay, guys, so it's time to take action. So I have the Challenger Planner here. I'm gonna send the link for you. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to put some goals. Okay, so I'm gonna send this link for you. Just a minute. So I sent the link here. I don't know if they can get it. I will send on the chat as well. So guys, basically open this link and make a copy for you so that you can get the planner for you. And I'm gonna quickly show you here. Nero, can you see the spreadsheet here?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So basically here, this is just an example. Like this is the time. These are the actions you're gonna take. It's very simple, guys. Like I said, you don't need a crazy complex thing. You just need to have a plan to take action. So for example, here you can put, I'm gonna study 30 minutes of Docker, and then here, if you completed all your goals, you can put all done. So you can customize this spreadsheet in the way you want. And here is the gratitude. So you can put 5 things that you're grateful for on your day. Even if your day is not a good day, for sure you're gonna find 5 things that are amazing. So the possibility to to see nature, to have your computer, to work from home, there's a lot of there are a lot of reasons why you should be grateful for your day. So it's important to have this gratitude, because gratitude is an exercise. It's not something that, I'm grateful. Like, it's something that you build up. Then the more you do this exercise, the more grateful you are, the more natural it becomes for you. And then like, you just notice that you are already happy. You don't need anything else. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be working for more things. It means that you are grateful on your journey. So I'm gonna give you some time to think and do that on your own, and then you can share with me quickly. I think we have time for like, we just have 5 minutes. I can't go further than that. There's still a lot of content. Okay, guys, so we don't have a lot of time. So you can share. So who wants to share your goal so that we can analyze quickly? And then I can tell you, okay, if you are in the right track. So we have around 5 minutes to do that. So if you can send it, that would be awesome.
Okay,
So
Rafael, there is one you can't send. I sent you the question part. I think we can see. If you can't see, I can open in my computer.
okay, yeah, I can see it.
Okay, I will show my screen if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I should be presenter. Okay.
Great. Okay, yeah, I know that I didn't give you guys a lot of time, but this is a start. Okay, so exercises. So you don't need to do so much exercise like that. I know that for us as software developers, we have to study a lot to keep up to date. So maybe your goal is not so realistic because like I'm seeing here, like you would be doing 2 hours exercises every day, which would be great, but I don't think it's the reality because other than having to study in our free time, we have to also work, usually from like 9 to 5 or even like more than that for some companies. So I think this is a bit unrealistic in my point of view. So I would change, like I would put, like if you can do exercises every day, that would be amazing. But I don't think it's very real. So maybe instead of having exercise every day, you put exercises 3 days a week, but also think about your goals, about your technical goals or your career goals. So here I'm just seeing goals for your health, which is very important. It should be your maximum priority, but you can't forget the others because otherwise uh, you can't do much. So you have to think about your health, about your career, about your personal life, about your professional life. So you have to balance everything, right? So you have to think, okay, what technology do I need to learn now? Then once you decide, okay, I need to learn containers, I need to learn a cloud provider. So what exactly do you want to learn? What technology you are being impacted the most at work? So define a plan and then you can balance your goals. Because if you focus only in health, it won't help you much. So it's a balance. So only health without your dreams, like you're gonna be healthy, but you won't be fulfilled because you have to have a balance uh, between those four interior empires. So um, I would recommend you to just think about your career a little bit more. And of course, you have to align your goals uh, to your um, dream. So what is your dream? So once you know what is your dream, then you can define goals that make sense. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so that's the time we have. Let's continue.
I will make a presenter again, just a minute.
Okay. And thanks for sharing, by the way. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Okay, great. Stay up to date with technologies. So what is in the market now? So nowadays, microservices are not the fancy thing anymore. It's the normal, it's the default. Everyone is using that. There is also serverless. The DevOps culture is everywhere. So developers have to do like the business implementation code, have to do infrastructure. So nowadays it's more it's very common in DevOps culture. And we could also use monoliths. So microservices are not silver bullet. So, but I think almost every company is going to the microservices side. So regarding Java, what should we be aware and study? We should, of course, be sharp with Java 11. Spring still is the strongest framework in the market. Quarkus is gaining traction, so we should be aware of Quarkus. Drop Wizards not using a lot in companies, but There's a couple of companies who use Drop Wizard. So Drop Wizard is a lightweight framework to build the microservices. But I prefer Quarkus or Spring, for example. Design patterns are the principles of programming to make your code better, but don't over-engineer, of course. Like you have to know when to use design pattern. Solid principles, those are powerful principles to get your code clean. Rest assured tests. So it's very common to see integration tests with rest assured. You have to know about concurrency, about at least the basics of threads. Maven and Gradle are popular. IntelliJ nowadays is the most popular RDE in the market, and batch programming. Database, so we need to know, of course, SQL, a little bit of Oracle, Postgres. I would say that's more popular nowadays in the market. SQL Server, I don't see that in the market anymore, so I don't think it's very popular. MySQL, yes. MongoDB, yes. DynamoDB. Those are important NoSQL technologies to master. Cassandra, and you have to know a little bit about database model design, because very often we have to create some kind of design, some kind of architecture with data. So this is a common thing in the market. For tests, unit tests, of course, we need to know that integration tests with Spring, WireMock, API testing with Rest Assured. So you can test your API endpoint with a Rest Assured framework. You can use TDD, test-driven development. So basically, it's the technique of starting from the test and having baby steps and testing your code. So your code, you write your code, and your code will be already tested. BDD is very popular, behavior-driven development. So you've probably seen the Gherkin tool where you can write very readable tests that ideally a business person could be able to read these BDD tests. It's very popular as well to have Selenium tests. So what is that? It's the test where you start from the front end, you go to the back end, database, third-party services, and everything. So Selenium is popular. Smoke test, so what is that? You test vital functionalities, usually when you are deploying your software. So this is popular as well. Canary tests, basically it's infrastructure testing. So you make sure that your infrastructure is working. Like I said, nowadays it's normal for developers to do operations work. So when we talk about DevOps, DevOps is the culture. It's the culture of developer and operation. So the culture is that developers should do operation work, and the guys from the ops side should do developer work as well. So it's DevOps. It's the two roles mixed. So when we are talking about DevOps culture, that's why the developers have to know about the ops part as well. So we have to understand a little bit about networks, have a little bit about Linux, shell and bash scripting. So important. If you are dealing with servers in the cloud, you have to know about shell scripting, because you're going to be manipulating your server with shell scripting. You have to know a little bit about automation, like Jenkins or GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions is taking a lot of traction in the market. It's a very recent technology, but it's already gaining traction. You have to know about Git, of course, Docker, Kubernetes, infrastructure as service like AWS or Google Cloud. You have to know at least the main services. I know, for example, that AWS has like hundreds of services, but we don't need to know all of them. We need to know the services that we need. Infrastructure as code, Terraform is getting quite popular as well. So you can create your infrastructure, and you can spin up your infrastructure with code, with Terraform, for example. Monitoring, so how can you debug microservices? Nowadays, it's very popular. Every company is using that. Datadog, Prometheus, Grafana, those technologies help you to debug your microservices. So you can check, for example, if the requests are successful, if the requests are failing, you can create traces, you can create dashboards with graphics, with everything you need to debug your microservice. And then there is also the technology of feature flag. So for example, you can ship your code, but for example, if you haven't finished the feature, you can set a feature flag saying that, okay, this feature is not done yet. So I will set this feature as disabled so that I can ship my code, but not the feature. So that's why you would use a feature flag technology like launch directly, for example. So I would give you this action, guys. We don't have time, unfortunately, but you can do that afterwards. You can find a job and you can confirm that those technologies I just told you are the ones that are hot in the market. So you can do that later. Challenge 4, learning quickly. So to learn something quickly, you have to understand the big picture. So how can you understand the big picture? You can check the table of contents of books. How can you do that? You can go to the Amazon website, and then you can check the books there. Then you can check the table of contents, and then you can understand. Okay, let's suppose you want to learn Docker. Then you go to the Amazon. It's just an example, okay? You can go to Amazon, and then you can check the table of contents. And then you're gonna check, oh, for Docker, okay, I have this content and this content and this content. So you're gonna see the big picture, which will enable you to decide what exactly to study. You can check Wikipedia and check the big picture of whatever you want to study. You can search for quick tutorials on YouTube. Nowadays, YouTube is massive, and you can find anything you want on YouTube. So you can take a quick look there, and then write down the important points from the big picture. So what is exactly important for you to get something, to create something useful with this technology? And then you define the scope. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's suppose you want to learn Java. So you can create a small web application that will create, update, delete, and read data. And then you define an approximate time to accomplish what you defined. So for example, if you want to create this small web application, how long do you need to accomplish that? 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, whatever works for you. Then define how many hours a week you're going to dedicate to it so that you can accomplish your final goal. So I see that many times, guys. People say, oh, I want to learn Docker. But when I say, so what do you mean by learn Docker? Then the person doesn't know. Like, learn, I want to learn. So the person doesn't have an answer. So it's important for you to have a concrete thought, like what learn means to you. So define the scope. Like for example, when you say, oh, I want to learn Docker, I want to be able to containerize an application and deploy in the cloud. That would be a concrete plan, something concrete, like something that you can do. But if you say, I want to learn Docker, but you don't even know what you want to do with that, that's not concrete. So it's important to define some kind of goal where you can accomplish something. And define success goals. Like I said, if you want to learn Docker, you containerize a Java application with a MongoDB. You deploy this to the cloud. You containerize a Node.js application, for example. You create a Docker Compose file containerizing a Java application with MongoDB, and then you run a Dockerized Java application in the cloud. That would be very concrete, very specific, and you're doing something useful here. So we don't learn from only one resource. We learn much better if we mix up the resources. So for example, if you look at books, at articles, tutorial videos, courses, podcasts, if you check the source code, online documentation, if you do pair programming, if you join all of those things, you're gonna learn much better because When we watch a video or read a book, what happens is that we connect the dots of the information. So when we connect the dots, then things make sense, and then things click in your mind. And then you can really do amazing things with your knowledge. Step 3, no holding back. Boost your CV. Understand the market. So like I was talking about the technologies, nowadays microservices are extremely hot in the market. So you have to have an idea of what is a microservice exactly. So the first step is to understand what the market wants. So how can you do that? Very simple. You can check job descriptions. You can go to LinkedIn and you can check in your city what's going on in the market. And then you figure out what are the hot technologies. You're gonna see a pattern in Java. For example, here in Europe, the pattern is like at least Java and Spring. Those are the strongest technologies here in Europe. So it's probably a worldwide trend, but it might change. You know, technology just changed so quickly. But nowadays, it's what I see. You might see something different in your city, but it's what I'm seeing here. And then you aim your CV to what the market wants. So if you put a technology that nobody knows, it doesn't matter for the company. Like if you put technology that the market doesn't want, it's going to be useless. Because remember, you're not doing the CV for yourself. You do the CV for the company you want to work for. Okay, so think about what the market wants. LinkedIn profile title. Choose keywords that from where you want to work. So, for example, if you want to work with microservices, you put on your profile title microservices. But also put the biggest highlights there. So, for example, if you are a senior software engineer, put there, make it very clear that you are a senior software engineer in your LinkedIn profile title, and separate them by a pipe, for example. Focus. The about section is the most important one. So we are talking here about the LinkedIn, okay? So the about section is the very first section of your LinkedIn. And then you put there, for example, how many years of experience do you have, your biggest accomplishments in your career. So your biggest accomplishment might be that you built a component that you could increase productivity from developers by 15%, or you solved a bug that was damaging the company profit, and by solving this bug, you generated a revenue of 20% for the company. So you can give examples where you put some numbers so that you can make your highlight very visible. And like I said, include how many years of experience you have. Because, for example, let's suppose if you have more than 10 years of experience, it's great if you put there, okay, I have more than 10 years of experience. So this is valuable for the market. In your photo, use professional photo. Probably there is a professional photographer nearby you, and you can ask them to take a nice picture from you. And smile on the photo, because if you are like with like frowning on your picture, like you give me the impression that you are not friendly, which is not good because people won't approach you. Like if they see that you're frowning, if you have a kind of an angry face, people will be afraid of you. So instead of, and also it's not only that, if you're not smiling, like you pass me the impression that you're not confident, that you're very insecure. So instead of passing those bad impressions, use that for your advantage. Smile on your photo. So you can go to a professional photographer and then you can say, I want a picture, a professional picture where I am smiling. Can we do that? And then you can put this picture on your LinkedIn. And you can use this picture in your social media as well if you want. And we don't need to wear suit. You can use a plain t-shirt. You can use a conference t-shirt. Like you don't need to wear a suit. If you want, you can, but it's not necessary. It's a bit weird for developers to wear a suit. But you can wear a smart shirt at least. Another technique for LinkedIn, you can ask for recommendation. So recommendation is important because if you gain a recommendation, you get a social proof from someone else. So someone else is saying that you are good at what you do. So instead of asking people to recommend you, recommend someone first. So use the law of reciprocity. When you help someone else, what usually happens? When you help someone else, this person will help you back. So have the mindset of being a giver. Give something, not expecting anything back. So for example, if you want a recommendation from a friend of yours, a coworker, you go to this coworker, you give your recommendation, and you don't ask for anything back. You can say, okay, I'm giving this recommendation. If you can, if you have time, I would highly appreciate if you could give me a recommendation as well. But don't hold a grudge against this person because this person, for example, won't give you a recommendation. It's likely that the person will give your recommendation back. But when I talk about being a giver, it's about giving something and not expecting anything back. If you hold a grudge against the person because you gave your recommendation, you didn't give it, you are trying to trade it. So give it, you say to the person, okay, if you can give me a recommendation back, I would appreciate it. If not, we are fine as well. So have this mindset of being a giver. Otherwise, you're gonna create a lot of enemies that are totally unnecessary to create, okay? Negotiate your salary. Figure out how much to ask. You can take a look at Glassdoor. So Glassdoor is not so accurate because people lie about I assume they lie, at least in their salaries. So I see salaries here in Ireland that are actually, I don't know, maybe 40% more than what people are putting there in Glassdoor. So it's not so accurate. You can take a look at Glassdoor though to see the interview process, to see an approximate average, but keep in mind that it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be lower than what the market is actually. One thing that you can do, very easy to figure out the market value, you can ask your friends. You can ask your close friend, and you don't need ceremony. When it's a close friend, you just ask, what is your salary? That's it. And probably your close friend, will give you his salary, and then you can understand, okay, so you might be impressed. Your friend might earn a lot more than you, and you have no idea. So you are being so you are not being paid well enough. Or you might find out that you are earning much more than your friend. So it can't be a taboo. If you see a salary conversation as a taboo, you are in a disadvantage against the market because the market will use this information against you in the negotiation. So the more information you have, the better. So find your value in the market. So if you are asking someone who is not so close to you, you can say, I wonder, a person with your experience and at your current position, what is the salary range from someone with your experience right now? Then you can ask someone who is not so close to you like that. You don't need to ask directly, you ask about the range. And then you don't even ask about the person. You talk about the position that the person is currently. And then the person is gonna say, oh, it's X to Z. Probably the person will say something around 10% less than his real salary, his or her real salary. And then you can have an idea. Then you can say, okay, this is, you put 10% more in the range, in the last range of your coworker, and then you can realize, okay, this is the approximate salary of this person. You can also have recruiters as allies, and you can ask them, okay, what is the salary for this position at this city, at this country? They might help you, but again, they are also negotiators. They want to negotiate with you, so their information might not be so accurate. So you can also use brute force. So what is brute force? You apply for a LinkedIn opportunity, and then if they ask, oh, what is your salary expectation? You put a very high value, and then you see what happens. But it's a trial and error, right? Because if you don't know the value, you're gonna give a very high value, and then if the person don't even answer you, it's because like it's a crazy value and it's not accurate with the market. So you can also use the brute force technique to learn your value in the market. And once you understand what is your value in the market, then you drive up your value to the company's eyes. So when you're communicating to the interviewer, you can show maturity on your way to communicate. You don't need to be like to pretend something you're not. Be authentic, be yourself, but show maturity on the way you communicate. So this will make a big difference. Show that you are highly skilled. So you can talk about your experience, about the challenge you've been through, and the things you solved. And then by having a successful interview, then you're gonna drive your value up to the company's eyes, which will bring you in a high position in the negotiation. And then I think that's the most common mistake every developer makes when they are negotiating, because the very first thing a recruiter or a company will ask you is, what is your current salary? And then if you say this information, you already lost the negotiation, because the whole negotiation will happen based on the salary you gave. So the whole negotiation will be based on the number you gave to them. So a very simple way to not reveal this information, you can say, sorry, but this information is confidential, and I wouldn't be comfortable to share it with you. And that's the reality, guys. If you reveal your salary, you're gonna probably get, if you get 15% more of your salary, you're very lucky. So you're being disadvantaged in the negotiation. So don't reveal your salary. Okay. Great. So we also have the negotiation subject. So Warren Buffett, one of the most powerful people in the world, he says that if you can't communicate, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens. And the other quote he says here, if you can't communicate and talk to other people and get across your ideas, you're giving up your potential. So if you don't know how to communicate, you won't be able to achieve your potential. And when I say communication, guys, it's not exactly about talking like crazy. And actually, communication is not that. Many people think, oh, communication is to talk a lot, not hear anyone, but it's not like that. Communication is about listening to the other person. It's about understanding the other person. It's about your writing skills. It's about your way to handle a conflict. It's communication is not to just talk and talk and talk and talk. Actually, a person who talks and talks and talks are a weak communicator. I know that sounds very contradictory, but someone who just talks and don't know how to listen is not a good communicator. It's a bad communicator. Okay, so I don't think we have a lot of time here, guys. We can go through this. So what is the process of communication? There is the sender, where you send this information, and this information is encoded. So for example, if you're talking in English, it's encoded to English, right? And then this information will be decoded by the receiver. So some words in some cultures might mean something, in other cultures might mean something else. So the culture of people have to be aligned so that they can understand themselves. Otherwise, one word might mean something else for the receiver. So a way to figure this out, to know that your message was delivered successfully, you can ask, did you understand what I said? You can ask for feedback, and then the person will explain. And then if it makes sense for what you said to this person, then okay, your communication was okay. And while you're communicating to someone else, there is also the noise. So there is the traffic jam, there is people talking, there is a lot of distractions. So there is all of those things happening during the communication process. So a very simple way to confirm that you are clear, you can ask for feedback. And if you don't understand exactly what the other person is talking about, you can ask, oh, did you say this and this and this? And then you wait for the confirmation, because sometimes we think we understood what the other person said, but sometimes we don't. So communication is basically your ability to be clear. So if you're talking for yourself, usually you're going to be talking something very complex that nobody will understand, and that's weak communication skills. So when you're communicating, be sure to be clear, and be sure to understand what is your audience. Because if you say crazy complex things that only yourself will understand, it means that you don't understand the context of the communication. So okay, guys, so we don't have a lot of time, but I'll give you a gift, okay?
Sorry,
So
Rafael, we have 20 minutes, so no need to rush. Take your time.
okay, we have 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so we still have some time. So 10 tips for effective communication. So present yourself well. You don't need to, like I said before, you don't need to wear a suit and everything and to be really formal, but like wear a nice clothes that suit you, that you feel comfortable. That should be enough. Have clarity on the topic. So for example, I'm giving, before starting this presentation with you, I gave you the whole context of the presentation. So I talked about all the topics that I'm going to present to you. So this is clarity. So I was clear before starting this talk. So I'm not going off topic here. I'm focused on the topic. So have clarity on the topic. The other is very similar, focus on the topic. Deliver the message effectively. How can you make sure you can ask for confirmation for the other person? Body language. So if you are curved, and if you are in a very strange position, you give me the impression that you are not confident. You give me the impression that you feel like you are not enough. So your body language is very important. You don't need to do like a very uncomfortable body language. You just have to be like have a straight posture, and you can maintain your head aligned, not up, not down, but aligned to straight. So this means that if you are like this, it means that you are insecure. because you are trying to show that you are superior to the other person, but actually you do that because you are insecure. And if you are with your head down, it means that, yeah, you think you are less than the other person. So just keep your head straight, because then you show, okay, I'm talking to this person, and I can do that, and I'm confident, and that's it. And then, like I said, in a communication check for understanding, you ask appropriate questions. So when you're communicating to someone else, maybe what the other person is saying is something very complex. And then you pick up some hooks in what is being said for the other person. And then you ask, okay, this word you said, can you expand this topic about this word, about this subject? And then you can have a more profound conversation, then you can understand better what's being said. And then, like I said, guys, communication is not about talking and talking and talking, cutting off people. This is not a good communicator. This is someone who is usually very insecure. If someone who is cutting off you, for some reason, this person is insecure. For some reason, there is something there going on. So be actively listening to the other person, because if you do that, then you show that you care about the other person. You show that you trust the other person as well. So to listen is one of the most powerful techniques for everyone who is truly a leader. Someone who just over talks someone else is not a leader, but it's someone who thinks he or she is a leader. So you actively listen to the other person, because people have to follow you. You can't force other person to follow you. If you are forcing other person to follow you just because of your title, you're not a leader. You are just someone with a title. So actively listening is so important. And after you give your talk, you give the recap. So you explain, okay, we talked about those points, and then you can make your audience to absorb the content, because there are some research found that in a talk, usually people can absorb around 20% of the content. So if you recap, maybe you can increase this number a little bit. And taking notes is another technique that you can absorb more of the talk. Then you have the closure. Then you ask, do you have any final questions? So that you can close the conversation. And then we have the ability of active listening. So the head, so what's being said, what are the facts? The heart, what are the emotions behind the words? Fear, anxiety, hurt. And the hands, what's the intention going forward? What action will be taken in the future? So when you are doing active listening, you have to think about those three things. What's being said, the heart, so what is the feeling of the person, and the hands, what is the action that's going to be taken. It's essential to listen on all three levels, because if you can get the feeling of the person, if you can see the intentions going forward, you are a much better listener. We don't have time for practicing it. I will move on, but this is the main idea of active listening. Like, I know that sometimes it's very tempting to cut off someone else, but avoid this temptation. Let the person finish her point, okay? Step 7, no hiding. Challenge 7, give talks. you will consolidate your knowledge. So one of the most obvious reasons to give talks is that when you give a talk, you consolidate your knowledge. This is the most powerful way to really learn what you are learning. Another reason, you're going to help others. You're going to be recognized, of course. You're going to be trusted. So when you share your knowledge, you are trusted even before going to interviews and doing the whole process that you normally do in the market. You improve your communication skills. So the more you give talks, the more you write a book, the more you write articles, the better you get on your communication skills. So it's the deliberate practicing technique. So if you do something consistently, over time you achieve stunning results. So small daily achievements over time lead you to stunning results. So if you develop habits that are aligned to your dreams, there is no way that you won't be successful. You will be successful, but you need to maintain the consistency. That's the most important thing. Public speaking is a rare ability for developers, so not many developers have the guts to do that. I know it's difficult, but it's something rare. If you are able to be a public speaker, it's something that the market values a lot. And what content can you choose? So you can share something that you are learning. For example, if you are learning Azure or AWS, you share about those technologies. While you are learning, you share it. You can talk about your focus. For example, let's suppose you choose the focus of Quarkus. So you share knowledge about Quarkus. Or also you can share something you're very good at. So if you're very good with clean code techniques, you share about clean code techniques. And over time, you're gonna find your voice. You don't need to be the very best in the world. That's one thing that I think many developers think. So you can always help someone else. So for example, maybe you can't help like the creator of Java, James Gosling, but you can help someone who is in the college. So you don't need to be the very best in the world. You just need to help someone who wants to get to what you already have. And like I said, you can even share something you are learning. So, okay, so where can you get started? You can give talks to your coworkers. You can give a talk to your friend. For example, if you feel uncomfortable to give a talk to your coworkers, you can also ask for a friend to give a talk, and then you give a talk to just one person. And then you can bit by bit improve your skills. And the other benefit of giving a talk is that when you teach even one person, one benefit, you improve your communication skills. The other benefit is that you really learn whatever you are learning, whatever you know a lot. So if you think you know something a lot, try to share it. Try to share it to see if you really know that. Because when you share your knowledge, you fill out the gaps. Sometimes you think, oh, I'm the best Java developer in the world. But when you try to share your knowledge, you see, oh, I thought I knew a lot. Then when you start to share, then you notice the gaps, and then you really learn what you think you know. So you can give a talk to coworkers, you can give a talk to a friend, and you can give an online talk as well. For example, you can have a group, a mastermind group, and then you can train to give talks. You have to understand your audience as well, because if you talk about something that's very advanced, for someone who just left college, they won't get a lot of value for that. So you have to know your audience. And the same thing is valid for experienced developers. So if you talk about something very basic, something that's very obvious to developers who have more than 15 years of experience, they won't get any value from that. So it's important for you to understand your audience and learn what they need. Always think how you can help the most them. So for example, people who are leaving the college, they want a job, right? They want their first job. So maybe you can align your talk in a way that you're going to help them to get their first job. You can always align your content with what the audience wants. So that's a very important concept to master. Okay, guys, so I think we have just 5 minutes. So I don't think we have time to go. Maybe we can talk about, yeah, we don't have a lot of time. So I'm gonna recap here. So we talked about get clarity. We talked about the market technologies, how to get rid of bugs more easily. We talked about boosting your CV. So how can you improve your CV so the market will be interested in your work? We talked about effective communication. So how can you communicate in a better way so that you can get a better job and so that you can help more people? Like I said, communication is not only your speaking skills, but it is also your writing skills. It's your skill to know how to listen to the other person. We also talked about learning quickly. So how can you learn something more quickly? You have to know exactly, okay, what I'm learning exactly, what I want to do with that. You have to know a clear vision, okay, with this knowledge, I want to do that. Negotiate your salary, how to negotiate your salary so that you get a better salary in the market. We discussed about not revealing your salary. There are much more, but we had time to discuss this point. We talked about giving talks. So how can you start giving talks? You can give a talk to your friends, to your coworkers, and then you can spend bit by bit. Then you can give talks to Java user groups. You can give a talk to famous conferences in the world. So you have many options. And share your knowledge. How can you share your knowledge? You can write articles. You can create courses. You can give talks as well. So there are many ways to share your knowledge. That's it, guys. Rock on. You finished the workshop. So I'm giving you a special gift. So the Golden Lessons book is currently in Amazon UK, £19. And I also have my one-to-one career conversation that is €200. But as you finish the workshop and you are here until the end, I'm gonna give you this opportunity to have the investment of only €3.99 so that you can get the Golden Lessons book plus the one-to-one career conversation with me. Okay, so you can access this link. In the meantime, you can make your questions so that I can answer and help you more, okay? I can send this link for you as well so that I can make it easier. You can also use your cell phone. You can just get this QR code. And guys, if you have any questions, let me know. I will send here the link so that I make it easier for you. I can send on questions as well. Send to all.
Yeah.
So guys, if you have any questions, send your questions. Actually, I think we don't have time anymore.
No, it's
Yes.
okay. But hello. Thanks for the presentation. Even if I am not developer, I learned a lot, and it's really understandable for everyone, and it make an impact for everyone's career.
Awesome.
Also,
Thanks a lot.
everyone can use this patterns or tactics in their own area. So most of them are global. So very valuable. Thank you very much, Rafael.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your kind words.
Yes, we are watching for the questions. And one comment.
Turkey is not in list for payment.
Yes.
Maybe you can just look at it later, or he can just reach you after the event.
Yeah, sorry, can you say it again? I didn't understand.
It's about PayPal. PayPal, this link, just go to PayPal, and PayPal is not working in Turkey. So it's not possible to buy this book via on PayPal.
Okay, okay. So maybe you can maybe whoever can't access PayPal, you can just send me your email, then we can figure out what we can do.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any question? I'm just checking. No. Thank you so much.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you very much.
Hope to see you next year in person in Istanbul.
For sure, that would be my pleasure.
Me too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.